All right, YouTube, got a quick one for you. Canelo Alvarez and Sergey Kovalev. What the hell is going on here? Look, look. I'm actually about to run out the door. I thought, you know what? Let me throw a quick video out there. Okay, first of all, this is clearly a blatant obvious duck by Canelo Alvarez. Okay, now think about it. I don't mean to go all, Dante on you or whatever, but think about it. I mean, what better way to duck your real opponent, right? The trilogy, the Gennady Golovkin trilogy, than, fight someone that's apparently bigger, better, badder, and stronger than Gennady Golovkin, right? I mean, we've seen it done in the past. Think about Andre Ward. Back when Andre Ward, all the talk was going about Ward Golovkin, what did he do? He moves up to light heavyweight and says, how can I be ducking this guy? I'm moving up to fight this guy. I honestly believe that Canelo Alvarez, just took a page right out of Andre Ward's book, okay? That's exactly what he did. Trust me, I know my boxing, okay? I know my boxing. This is clearly a duck from Canelo Alvarez, okay? Now, another thing I want to point out, okay? Kovalev, okay, I looked it up. The most he's ever weighed on fight night was about 181, 185. Now, we know for a fact, okay, this is not speculation, for an actual fact that Canelo comes in the ring a light heavyweight or above, it's been rumored that he's in the 180s, 185, so what I'm getting at here, and we know Golovkin comes in around 170, 171, 172, so, obviously Canelo is always the bigger man against Gennady Golovkin, but it would be an equal matchup for the Canelo-Kovalev fight, is what I'm trying to say, because they both rehydrate at about the same weight. Now, also, reports coming out that Golden Boy offered Kovalev a really low offer. Right now, Kathy Duva, they're trying to put together another fight. I forget the dude's name. Someone we've never even heard of. Like, I don't know what they're doing over there at Main Event, but they really need to get their act together, because, they need to make some meaningful matchups with Kovalev. He's been on the comeback for too long now. He's got a new coach. It's time to get in a good fight here. So, and look, I like the fight, I do, but like I said, I believe it is a duck, an absolute 100% Gennady Golovkin, a Triple G duck. And again, what a better way to do it? There isn't a better way to do it. To say I'm fighting this guy. He's two divisions above. Blah blah blah. How can I be ducking him? And think about it. Canelo fought Rocky Fielding. He fought Chavez at a catchweight. So Canelo has fought above middleweight twice. So for him to make light heavyweight really isn't that hard. It isn't. The dude probably walks around. Who knows? 190, 200? Who knows? I have no idea. But I do know that he can easily, size-wise, he can match up with Kovalev on fight night. No problem. No problem. In fact, it would probably give him an easier camp, because he wouldn't have to lose weight and things like that. By the way, did a little poll in my group, Counterpunch Boxing, Charlo versus Canelo, who wins? Now, this was early on in the poll, but right here, 63 votes to 3. Right now, it's like 100 to 4 or whatever. So, you guys have very little faith in Charlo, obviously. But look, I'm reading the headlines right here. I put in Google, Canelo versus Kovalev, and Golden Boy makes a low offer for 9/14 fight. Jaime Munguia receives offer for Canelo Alvarez fight. That wouldn't surprise me either. Canelo Alvarez, Sergey Kovalev negotiations, sputtering out. They're talking about, it might be, let me back up. Could this be like a negotiation tactic on Golden Boy? Because we know they do that. Like, let's say Oscar De La Hoya is negotiating with Tom Loeffler, Gennady Golovkin's promoter. He does that. He'll say, okay, well, we're talking to Kovalev. We're talking to this other guy, so, you better play ball, right? It could be a tactic by Golden Boy. I don't know. Who knows? So, and also, Caleb Smith was another fight they were talking about making, which I don't think that's going to happen, but it's a possibility. It's a possibility, so report Golden Boy made extremely low offer to Kovalev. I'm just reading some headlines to you real quick. Like I said, I'm not Canelo Alvarez rumored jumping three-way is better for boxing than a third fight with Gennady Golovkin. I don't think so. I think the world wants to see the trilogy. Why? Well, I'll tell you, I'm glad you asked because Gennady Golovkin was robbed, okay? And the boxing community knows it. Even when, commentators talk about the fight today, what do they say? Oh, we all know Golovkin won, the first fight, and the second fight was a little closer. Max Kellerman says it, Paulie Malignaggi says it, Al, they all say it. I mean, everybody, anyone who's being honest says Canelo lost. So if I'm Canelo Alvarez, I would want to, go back and right my wrong, right? I would want to redeem myself. I would want to prove to the world that I can actually, I'd want to knock him out, right? Forget about the judges. I'd want a knockout. And if I'm Golovkin, I want a knockout. So my only fear, here's my only fear, and I'll probably end it here. My only fear is we get a boring trilogy. I think that would be terrible for boxing. It would be kind of like a Pacquiao Mayweather all over again, because in my opinion, I think the trilogy is more, wanted than the original fight, because people were saying, Golovkin needs to forget about him, go for Billy Joe Saunders, the WBO, become the undisputed middleweight champion, which I agree, especially the rematch. But now, because there's so much history and there's so much dirty politics involved, it's a grudge match. We really need the trilogy to happen. And, I just hope they don't wait out Gennady Golovkin. I don't know. Like I said, they might be looking at that Steve Rolls fight and thinking, they're a little bit unsure. He knocked the dude out, so, now that he's not with Abel Sanchez, they might be thinking hey, the old Golovkin is back. We might need to wait a little bit longer. That's kind of what I'm thinking anyway. And I told you guys, I have it on good authority, which is credibility for you youngsters out there. A good friend of mine, how do I say this without giving it away? Someone tied to the trilogy told me the trilogy was going to happen. I don't know how else to say it without saying it, but so yeah, and I trust the people I talk to. So I heard this a while back that the trilogy was already done. It was basically the contracts are made up, and the undercards are already decided on, or for the most part, they might not have opponents, but they know who's going to be on them. Even the arena and the location was already predetermined, for the trilogy, which was going to be Mexico City Aztec Stadium. That's what I heard. But now, we're hearing, Canelo Alvarez, Kovalev, this, that, and the other. So I don't know. Again, is it just kind of a tactic by Golden Boy, to put a little bit of pressure on K2 Promotions, Tom Loeffler, and Triple G Promotions? Probably, maybe. I don't know. We never know. Look, you never know what Golden Boy is going to do until they actually do it, right? You think you got it all figured out and they fight Chavez. You think you got it all figured out and they're fighting, what's his name, Smith in Dallas. You think you got it all figured out and they're fighting Amir Khan defending the middleweight belt. You just never know what these guys are going to do. So it's really hard, even if you have good solid information. It's hard to really say what they're going to do. But what I think they're going to do is they're going to really try to negotiate with Kovalev, and if that falls through, I think there's a 50-50 chance they'll go for the Gennady Golovkin trilogy, but they're also going to lowball Gennady Golovkin, okay? So, really, the ball's in Golovkin's court. Is he going to put up with it or not? Who knows? Like Triple G said, now, DAZN is pressuring Golden Boy for the trilogy, and those are kind of unwritten conditions from what I've heard from people in the know. That was look, if you want to be a part of DAZN talking to Canelo, then we want the Gennady Golovkin trilogy. So it was kind of, and who knows, maybe it's in their contract, I don't know. But it was almost like a must-have, we must have that particular matchup if you want to be on our platform. So I don't know, guys. What would you rather see? Canelo Kovalev? Look, I'd love to see it. Don't get me wrong. I would absolutely love to see Canelo Kovalev. I would. But right now, there is unfinished business, and I'd rather see Gennady Golovkin Canelo first. So what about you?